Hello, hello, hello. This is Susan Bradley Bortfield of Partners at Play, and I have the most amazing guest today. I'm really excited to introduce her to you. She has become a great friend of mine and a trusted confidant, and we get to play like all the time together, which is really amazing. She has this amazing ability to rise to the occasion, whatever it may be. And she, like like a lot of us, right? She has a very powerful story, but she doesn't live in her story. She lives in spite of her story, and she's this amazing, beautiful healer, and she just projects love no matter who she's talking to, no matter who she's coaching, no matter who she's healing. She is a a hypnotherapist. She is a massage therapist. She is Reiki. She is light body. She is love. And I'm so honored to call her my friend. So let me introduce you to Miss Anne McElwee. And she is from Anne McElwee Coaching. Hi, Anne. Are you there?
Hi, Susan. I most certainly am.
Yay! Hello! Hello, my friend. It's so fabulous to see you.
Oh, it's fantastic to be here.
So, I wanted to interview you for many reasons, but because you have such a powerful story and you have been working on yourself for many years and you have come to a place where you understand that that you are the creator of your own reality, and you get to decide every day how you respond to others and how you react to others and how you show up in the world. So, can you just tell us a little bit about your backstory and why you became a coach?
Well, like most of us, childhood wasn't always fun and happy. And growing up, I just realized I deserved so much more than that. And I just decided, I made a decision that I was not going to live that way anymore. I wasn't going to live out of fear of holding myself back in life and just do what it took to go forward and to put myself out there, even if it meant going out of my comfort zone. And it was exciting. I was the type of person that was so fearful. I was afraid of people, I was introvert. Um, I always wanted to get to the destination rather than the journey. I never really understood that. And of course, now the journey's the best part. So, I've come a long way. And I just thought this was everybody's journey and realized it wasn't. So, the older that I got, I found that a lot of my friends came to me advice. People were seeking me out because they didn't get it. And I thought this was everybody's journey, that the journey that I took, and I realized that it wasn't. So fast forward, I just loved self-growth class. I went into massage school when I was 46. That came to me in a yoga class, trying to figure out what to do with my life. And I'm like, okay, sure, why not? Not knowing, oh my gosh, what was involved. And thank God I didn't. I listened to my heart. I listened to my inner talk. And I was so happy that I did that because it was one of the most profound experiences that I ever had. So much fun. And it was another avenue of healing. I knew I was a healer. I knew I was in tune with people. I could connect, especially with older people. It was always what am I trying to say? Connected to the other side. And I loved dealing with people who were returning back to their home, right? And anyways, I at that time I had already taken a Reiki 1 course, and I felt the need to go further. I didn't know why. Again, you never question what you hear from source, you just
Mm-hmm.
follow that. And I did. And I knew there was a place for it, and I knew it would come into my life for some reason. Got certified and licensed as a massage therapist and have been doing that for a long time. And there's just something so profound when you put your hands on somebody and you connect with their energy and really connect with the source of who they are and where they're coming from.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
I had a friend who was dying of brain cancer, and the minute I touched him, holy moly, the electrical charge that connected both of us was just simply amazing, just unexplainable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, can I ask you, like, what was the pivotal moment where you realized in your childhood? Because we've talked, right?
Hmm.
Both had very stifled
Right.
childhoods, right?
Right.
Not we weren't allowed to express ourselves,
Correct.
and so we had to learn that, like as a basic skill, how
Right.
to express ourselves. So, what was that? What was the moment for you? Like the universe for me had to knock me on my butt for me to reconnect to my inner divine and my inner wisdom. So, what was that moment for you where you realized um, there was more to life and this was not everyone's story, right? What was that moment like when you realized that, or that time?
Well, I knew that I always wanted to get out of my house. It just wasn't healthy for me. And I had graduated high school, and soon after that, I started dropping weight. I was heavy, so I started dropping weight, and it just became excessive. But I didn't know that. And so that's how holding my voice, not being able to speak, not being able to have opinion, how that developed in me. It came out as an eating disorder. So I was starving myself, right?
Did
And
I'm sorry, can I just ask, like, did you know at the time that it was happening that you were in, like, was it an intentional that you were withholding food as a way to control your own world? Like,
you know, subconsciously it was, but at that time I wasn't aware. Um, I just knew that I felt good and I looked good, but it did become obsessive. I mean, I probably dropped 40 pounds, which I did look like a skeleton, you know? Um, and as more people made comments about my physique, I realized something wasn't right. But really, what hit me was the amount of sadness that I felt, the depression. And that was my turning point, that I needed to get help. I was not going to live. I was not going to allow myself to die to try to win my parents over, whatever reasons I was going after. I had to stand up for myself. And at that point, I was willing to do anything it took to heal myself. And I did. So,
that's that's so amazing, because so many, because eating disorders are very, very difficult to overcome. And when it, did you have anorexia?
I did, yes.
Okay. So that's almost impossible, right?
Mm.
To overcome that severeness of eating disorder. So what did you begin with to get healthy? What was like your lowest point? Was it I'm gonna die, or what was that aha, what that made you seek out help?
I remember I worked outside at that time. I worked maintenance on the golf course, and I loved the job. And I remember one day, I mean, it was probably like 60 degrees. I lived in Buffalo, so it was always cold. But I was used to the winters, and I was wearing long underwear because my body could not hold on to warmth. And I remember one of the people that I worked with made fun of me. And
Oh,
I, at that time, I can't do this anymore. I was so depressed. I hated feeling cold. I just felt lost. I went into my boss's office, wrote a note, and I left. And yeah, and I just went and got help. So,
wow. Wow. So, wow, I can't even like imagine, that point of awareness, right? That point of it's either really a choice between I want to live or I'm going
right,
to allow myself to die,
right, right,
right?
right. And I also, oh, sorry, I also remember at the time I had had a steady boyfriend, right? And it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a healthy relationship, looking back. But he had threatened to leave me if I lost any more weight too. And
Oh,
that also, that was just a memory that came up, but that was also a pivotal point because for me, I felt like I had nothing. If you don't have your parents on your side, who do you have, right?
right.
And a lot of family and friends didn't understand it. My parents certainly didn't get where I was coming from, even though I had come to terms with what I was dealing with. And thank God, because a lot of people don't.
Right.
So I just couldn't stand feeling like that. Um, and so I guess that was part of a pivotal moment too in making my decision, just for that security that somebody loved me,
Right.
even though I didn't totally feel that self-love for myself. Um, and actually he didn't truly love me either, but those words was enough just to push me outside and do what I
Wow. So he definitely served a purpose in your life, right? Because if he
oh,
didn't, do you think that if he didn't threaten to leave you, that you would have like like if he didn't threaten to leave you, do you think that you would have sought out the help or would you have just not, had gone unconsciously doing what you were doing?
that's part of it. I do believe that I would have gotten help at some point. I may have gone even further, deeper, like with losing more weight, where I got to the point that I was hospitalized.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, I also had a cousin experiencing the same thing. She was in the hospital. And
Wow.
so that was really interesting because I was not allowed to speak to her. And so I do believe I would have gotten help just because of the state of mind. I was in such a deep, dark depression. I couldn't stand living like that. Did I think of suicide? Absolutely. But I knew I couldn't follow it. I knew it wasn't in my heart to follow through because it's not really what I wanted. I wanted to be well. I wanted to move
Nice.
forward.
Wow, that's so like amazing. Um, so s- wow, like I just want to just like acknowledge you for your strength, right? Your perseverance and to come from a place of feeling so bad about yourself to now you help heal other people and you serve other people in such a way that you can see the beauty within them even when they cannot see it for themselves. So in the journey to heal yourself, is that why you became a healer or why did you become a healer?
It was just something that was always in me. I always had a compassion for people, even at a young age. Um, with a lot of issues with my parents at a young age. I had twin brothers that were born very ill. So my grandmother took me in a lot. And I just loved my grandparents dearly. And they kind of raised me. And I just had such a love for older people. And even to this day, I can see 100-year-old man walking down the street and we just gravitate to each other. But there's just something there was just something in me that just came out, I guess. Um, and perhaps because I did heal quicker than most. I was determined to get well. I was not going to I was not going to succumb to this.
Wow. That takes so much strength because I know statistically that the likelihood of your recovery and what a miracle it really was,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm so grateful you're here.
I am
And
too.
and I'm just loving, we've talked quite a bit about relationships to self, relationships
Mhm.
to source, and following that guidance, right? Because since that time, that's what you've been doing, right? Is just
Mhm.
following what feels right.
Correct. Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about your journey once you made the decision that this was not going to be your story, right? That what kind of modalities did you study to help you on your journey?
Wow. Good question. God, there's been so many. I don't even know where I started. I think one of them, I think what opened up my path actually to really being spiritual and really opening up that channel and path for me was I had recently moved to Massachusetts, was out on my own, and I lived in Milford at the time. And in Upton, there was this place that was advertised somewhere called the Aquarian Fellowship Foundation, and took a ride over there. And wow, it was amazing. In the same time, I had watched Shirley MacLaine's movie come out on a Limb.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, whoa, what's that all about?
That was a powerful movie. That was a very powerful movie.
That
Yeah.
was that was huge. Yes, because growing up strict Catholic,
Mm-hmm.
how do you dare think anything besides what is taught, right?
Right.
So already I was straying the path. But what I found was, oh my gosh, my journey just opened up. I felt such a sense of self. I got into psychic development classes. I read tarot cards. Um, I don't even know what else I took in there, but I realized that I felt closer to source than I ever did in my whole life. And I was becoming more open and closer to myself and who I was. And I think really that's when the journey really took off.
So when did you finally realize that you really did? Because sometimes, like, I know for myself, like, I thought that I loved myself
Hmm.
only to realize I didn't. I wasn't honoring my body, right? That's how I became bedridden. So when was it that you realized that you're worth loving?
Well, I think in my recovery actually with the therapy and outpatient care and then delving into this other path, this spiritual path. I mean, I went to see Shirley MacLaine and Kevin Ryerson on stage. And it
Wow.
was so amazing. And of course, Abraham Hicks. And, I really, book after book, I really have loved my books. That was a really big counterpoint in my life because that's where a lot of the source of healing came from was educating myself and really healing within and Louise Hay, all these big names that are out today,
Mm-hmm.
they, they were big back then, and of course they were new to me, but all my friends never heard of that. They didn't know where I was going. They looked at me like she's a little out there, but they were intrigued by me because there was something to it. I was mystical to them, I guess. But I really like all these people, Louise Hay, Wayne Dyer, Joe Vitale, all these people, Cheryl Richardson. I started reading as much as I could up on them, and Heal Your Life really was profound in my life. That I walked around with that like it was my Bible. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, and your friends and family, like they might not have understood what you were doing, but they could definitely see the physical transformation and
Right.
most likely the the way that you presented yourself and that you did own your life and you did speak your truth, right?
Right, right.
So how did your family respond to the big change in Anne?
This was another good lesson because they didn't get it. And I remember I was asked by someone I met with because of what I was dealing with, and I didn't like the angst I was feeling. And I remember them telling me, you need to forgive your family. I'm like, you talk about forgiveness in church, but not one-on-one, that this is
Right.
what my next step was. So I remember doing that and writing a letter to my parents for Christmas, and so excited for them to see that I've forgiven them. They
Mm-hmm.
totally ignored it. They had no idea where I was coming from. Like,
Do you think that they didn't see their own, the way, like they didn't acknowledge the way that they treated you?
oh, absolutely. I mean, they had no clue where I was coming from because they weren't on the same path. They didn't. I look at that and I think that generation just didn't know they had options. This is who they were, and you didn't question that. And so I think our generation was just opening up a whole new can of worms, so to speak.
And the worms are out, and the worms are
Yeah.
there's worms everywhere.
They're still crawling all over people.
Right? Because, your parents being strict Catholic, they believed what the church told them to
Right.
believe. Is
Right.
that accurate?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, you didn't dare question the religion,
Right,
and yet
right,
I was straying off course here too. So, yeah.
right. So how are your relationships with the people in your life now? Now that you stand in your own power and you are owning your truth and you are stepping up and stepping out as a coach, as a healer. How has your relationships evolved with your family, and how do you handle that when the contrast shows up?
Good question. Um, I think the important part was from what I was talking about with my parents was what was so pivotal about that was that was such a huge aha moment for me, how key forgiveness is for self. I wasn't doing
Mm.
it for them. Of course, they weren't going to get it, right? It was all
Mhm.
about me and how my heart was, and that I was worthy enough to be forgiven and to move forward and to start over. And so I didn't care what people thought. And that one quote, I read it every day. It's on my fridge. It's none of my business what you think of me. And when that really resonated in me, holy cow, it's huge. And I remember working with somebody who said, what do you mean you don't care what I think of you or anybody else? I'm like, of course I care, but on a different level. Because really, truth is, it only matters where I'm coming from, my heart and how I treat people. And so what was interesting enough is that the stronger that I became and the more I grew and followed my journey and my path, I gained so much respect for my parents. They respected me, because I could see their limitedness where they were coming from. And I was able to heal all that, between us and just accept them for who they were. And it's funny how, my mother had some really deep issues and I wasn't sure if she was going to be around. And, something pulled her through, but she's around and I became her crutch, so to speak, through life. She just we have a great relationship and friendship. And yeah, it's amazing when you are true to yourself, the connections that open up. People either rise or they don't. And those are the people that, even though they may fall away, they're still watching you.
Right, right. And for us, me and you, we only live 20 minutes from each other. But the universe the universe brought us both to San Diego, California, so
I
that
love
we
it.
can connect. How cool is that, right?
I'm still amazed with that. That tickles me. I just love that. Yeah.
There was probably many instances where we just missed each other, or maybe we were in the same grocery aisle, and
Right.
because I used to live in the same town, right, as you, there was probably many instances that we were in the same store together. but we just kept crossing paths, and the universe is like, well, I'm just going to put you in the same event.
Fly across the country.
Right? They're just keep passing each other. We keep sending the signals.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's how I think of it. I love that. And the universe put so many signs in your life, right? And so many teachers and so many guides and so many books and so many resources that you just kept following every path, right? Because now you are Reiki, right?
Mhm.
You heal using Reiki. Are you a Reiki master?
I
Yes.
am. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Right. So you do hypnotherapy as well?
I've
Oh,
delved
okay.
in
I'm
that a little
sorry.
bit, but that's okay. That is a journey that I do intend to take. So
I knew that we talked about
yeah.
that, but you have taken light body.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Yes, and you're going to be helping people heal from the relationship with money,
Wow.
right?
How awesome is that?
You
Yeah.
are an amazing healer. And so I want to just speak to that for a minute because when people are not feeling the abundance financially, do you think that it really is about healing that part of them that doesn't think that they deserve that flow? Or what's your take on that?
I totally agree. And if you ask somebody that they have an issue with money, that they need to heal that, they're going to, flat out probably say, "What are you talking about? You're a little crazy, And
Right,
then,
like it's not a medical thing.
yeah,
I just need money.
I just want money. Where
I
is it?
want cash.
Yeah. Because you start to think, I mean, even I was one of those people. Well, how come she's so lucky and I'm not? Why does it come to her and it doesn't come to me? It's interesting until you really get a little deep into it, your relationship with money, because we're not taught to even talk about money.
Right.
It's just one of those taboos. Um, but the deeper that I got into my journey, I was amazed at how limited I was, all of these limiting beliefs that I had. And I remember one night in the coaching academy in class, and Evelyn had a list of lack and abundance. And I swallowed hard because I fit almost every one of those limiting beliefs. And wow, was that an eye opener for me?
Wow. So Evelyn Apostolou is from the QSCA, the Quantum Success Coaching Academy, where both Anne and I received our certifications. And did you receive your light body certification? Is that what you're talking when you were in the Creating Money course?
Well, this actually was through the QSCA, through the coaching program where we had that early on in our
Okay.
sessions. Yeah, so
Okay. But you went on to take light
I
body
did.
as well through the Quantum Success Coaching Academy and the Creating Money course that you're now certified as a teacher, right?
Correct, correct.
To to heal people's relationships with money, because believe it or not, our relationship, it is a relationship between us and money.
Hmm.
And what do you think was the pivotal point when you were looking at that list and realized, oh crap, I'm in lack?
Yeah. Well, I know one of them was having to work hard for my money because even in the millionaire mindset, I took a course on that. And, nobody tells you to love money, you know?
Right.
I mean, especially the Catholics. Just give it to them. You don't have to love it. Just hand
Just
it over.
give your 10%, right?
So,
and you'll go to heaven.
yeah, you got to see
I'm
it.
sorry.
But it's true, though.
I'm not judging anyone that is Catholic or gives to the church the 10%, right? I'm sorry. I'm not judging. I have my own relationship with the Catholic Church.
Mhm.
And so I just want to put that out there that I'm not judging you if you're Catholic, if you're Protestant, Jewish, I just want to, I'm sorry for laughing.
But
But
that was a reality in my world, too. I remember my dad saying to me that the priest approached him and said, "You're not giving enough." My dad says, I have 5 children, and my dad was in and out of work a lot and he traveled a lot, but that was a reality. So I had this poor mentality growing up that there was never enough. It's never enough. I remember wearing hand-me-downs a lot, and just looking back when you go inner and deeper, the limiting beliefs that pop up that you just have no idea are still connected to your DNA even, it's,
Right.
it's really an eye-opener taking this course.
Wow.
Yeah,
So as a teacher of the Creating Money course, and you're realizing it's once we heal the relationship that we have with money, then the abundance can flow, right? So
absolutely.
do you want to talk a little bit about this course? Because I know you're getting ready behind the scenes to introduce this course. Did I let the cat out of the bag?
That's okay. Okay.
But you have just healed so much, and so many people in so many ways, and this is just another way that you use your gifts of healing to help people live their best life and live the life that they want rather than the life that they were given.
Right.
Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. I mean, even as a life coach, we know we try to help people, guide people to creating their best life now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we try to do with the money course. It's not taboo to talk about money. In fact, we need to talk about money. It's important. It's important to understand your relationship with money, how you feel about it, how you think about it. Do you touch it? Are you happy? When you receive a paycheck, do you think, oh crap, that's all I got paid this week? Believe it or
Yeah.
not, that already sets the motion for whether you're attracting or repelling. So, and we're never even taught to think in terms like that because that was a reality in my life. You know,
Right.
never
Right.
enough. It's never
Right.
enough. So, what do I keep attracting? Lack, you know?
Right. Even though we want money, we desire money, we, wish it would fall from the heavens and
Right, right.
surround us like a blanket.
Yeah,
Um, and so, we could be doing all the right things, but if you don't heal your relationship with money,
right,
you can still repel it,
right.
no matter
Absolutely.
how much you want it,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So if if somebody was in a lack mindset, what would be your tips for them to start moving into abundance?
Well, I think I would first ask them to sit down with a pen and piece of paper and just ask them, what is their relationship with money? How do they feel about money? Right? One column, write down their thoughts and feelings and no judgment here, but just write down and look at that. And is that positive or negative?
Wow.
And if it is negative, do you want to continue to feel that and think that way?
Right.
You know,
Maybe what's a different belief, right? What's
right. So that's where I was going with that. So if they make the decision right there, well, this isn't working for me because there may be people saying this is hogwash. It is what it is, right? I'm just given the bad luck. But you have to make that decision. This is not what I want. I want to live the life of my dreams. I envision having a summer home somewhere and so forth. So, like you said, take the first negative thought that you wrote down. How can you change that? What can you do to reword that so it's in a positive manner? And start repeating that and feel that, feel the energy in that word, in that sentence, you know? So if I say, I don't have enough money, that's very constricting in my chest.
right. You can feel it.
Yeah, right. So if I were to say to you, Susan, how can you change that so it feels better? What would you say to that?
Right. Like I always believe that truth feels light in your body. Like when you tap in and connect to that truth of who you are, and you ask yourself a question like about money or how you feel about money, if it feels hard or it feels tight or tense, that's a lie. You
Right.
feel bad because it's not the truth,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So, for example, like if I were to say, you know, money is hard to make, like I can feel the heaviness in my chest. But, you know, if I say, you know, abundance, the world is abundant, right? That feels lighter and truer, right? It's just what we see everywhere. It's we were conditioned to see what the problem is instead of asking what the solution is. So you as a healer, a Reiki master, you do light body, so you are connected to source, right? And you follow that guidance and you teach others how to do that. And just like you would heal somebody's pain in their body with Reiki, with the Creating Money course, you hear, because money's energy, right?
Right.
Everything is energy. So when you can heal that energy or shift that energy to flow,
Mm-hmm.
right, easily, then does that, would you say that opens us up to receive?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sure people can think about the times in their life when they, you know, have this huge issue, right? And they
Hmm.
keep focusing on it and focusing on it, and it's not working out. Even people who are trying to get pregnant, right?
Right.
Finally they just say, I'm done. I surrender. This is not meant for us. And what happens? The next month they find out they're pregnant or soon down the road because they surrender. They gave up that negative energy because they were really focusing on the lack that they were experiencing, not the abundance that there's all these souls out there waiting to come to me, right? So the same
Yeah.
with our money. We do the same thing, you know?
So I always say, you know, what fire are you feeding? Are you feeding the fire of desire or the fire of undesired? Because
Right.
whatever fire you feed is certain to grow. So that's definitely fitting with the money, right? So so I'm really excited that you're going to be teaching this course because I think healing the relationship that we have with money is almost as difficult as healing like I was bedridden, and I think healing that relationship with your money is almost like, you know, as well, I don't want to say hard,
Yeah.
but um but can be as challenging as healing from something such as being bedridden, right?
Right.
Because we don't look at it in that way. And for me, when I was bedridden, like I had the aha that I created it. I created my circumstances where I had, you know, the universe had no choice but to knock me on my butt so I would listen. But so, you know, the relationship with money, I think it is just like an ailment.
It definitely is. I mean, look at the debt in this country,
Right.
credit card debt and so forth. And it's encouraged.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yes. So, and that's what the news focuses on as well. What is the problem? There's a problem here, there's a problem there, there's a problem there. And there's very little in the mainstream where they're looking to solutions. So, I'm loving that through this Creating Money course that you're going to be teaching, that you're going to teach people to look at the solutions rather than the problem,
and it's
right?
not necessarily going out and getting a third job either. So
Thank God.
because I know that's what people think. Oh my gosh, how can I possibly take on another job? So
Right. So do you think that do you think when when we limit ourselves and think that the only way that we can receive money is through our job, that
right.
we cut off the flow? And what can like, what's something we can tell ourselves every day to open up that flow?
Well, it's just creating a thought that, when you say that, money only comes through my paycheck, you've limited. That's the only way you can do it. And it's interesting because I had somebody mention to me that she was trying to imagine excess money coming through an inheritance. And I went, that doesn't feel good, does it? I mean, that could be an option, but why wish a death on a family member to get your money? Like, why
Right.
not be open to the whole universe? The universe is huge. There's so many different avenues that money can come unexpected that people don't even think about. They're not even aware about.
Right.
You and I have seen it on the websites that people just go to their mailbox and there's a check waiting there. It sounds, like, really? That'll never happen to me. But you're right. With that mentality, it won't. But it can, and it does.
Right. So what I've learned to say, because like a lot of people will say, I want to be rich by winning the lottery, right? I'm going to win the lottery and I'm going to be rich. Well, maybe the universe is going to bring you a different way to be rich. But
Right.
when we just declare to the universe it has to be through the lottery, you have millions of people that are saying the same thing,
Yes.
and not everybody can win. Not that you cannot win,
Right.
but when you like, I got into the habit of saying, I would love for this to happen or something better,
Right. Right.
right? Because that's
Right.
opening up. So I would love to receive a lot of money, through my clientele and my programs, or any other way the universe would like to bring that to me is fine. I'm open to that.
Right. Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So be open. So if you could give people like one positive step that they can take to begin to heal that relationship with self and relationship with money, what would you say to them?
I think to really, again, when I tell people to write something down versus just think about it, a thought just flies in and out, right? And
Mhm.
you don't give any more thought to it. But if you take the time to sit down and really write down your thoughts, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about money, you can see what's going on in your mind, the mind chatter that goes on all day long. I think that's a great place to start, because then you can change it around and think, well, that's not really what I want to put out there, right? I
Mhm.
want to think in a positive. So let me write these down and just recite them every day. Feel them, and they'll become your affirmations. And whether you have to stand up with your hands on your hips and claim that, this is yours. You are an abundant person and you deserve to have this. Feel that. Feel how it feels in your body. So
That's awesome. So I know you have a lot more going on other than the money course that you're in the process of creating. You also do one-on-one coaching as well,
I
right?
do, yes.
So, who is your ideal client in your one-on-one coaching?
So I've met a lot of people that I have found in my travels that are kind of stuck in life, perhaps through divorce or, death of a loved one, or just feel stuck or don't understand why life is happening to them and aren't strong enough to verbalize how they feel, or that they even have a choice. A lot of people don't know they have a choice in the matter. Um, and so those are the kind of people I love to work with. I'd like to empower them, let them feel their own power, let them feel self-love and grow and open.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Because you have literally come from death's door
Yeah.
to now just living your life on purpose, living your mission, and putting, your love and your compassion and your gratitude out there, and stepping up and stepping out in such a beautiful way. I'm so honored to call you my friend. And
Thank
I'm so honored that we get to have lunch sometime,
you.
and you come to my house, and it's all fun. Um, so how can people get in touch with you?
So I'm in the process of building my website. That should be done shortly. And I do have an email. It's coaching with Anne McElwee.
Okay, could you,
A-N-N, yeah,
yep, go
yep.
ahead.
So it's ANNEMCELWEE, coaching with Anne McElwee at gmail.com.
Okay, coaching with Anne McElwee, ANNEMCELWEE at gmail.com.
Correct.
Yay, yay.
Yeah.
So, so is there anything else you would like to add before we wrap up?
I just tell people that are searching, don't wait. Don't waste any more time waiting, whether it be coaching or the money course should be coming January 3rd.
Yay!
So,
Oh, I didn't ask that.
yeah, it's a 12-week course. If it's something that you're considering, please feel free to reach out and, ask me some questions. And, I'd love to offer you some information and help you out.
Okay. And if they reach out to you, do you do like free strategy sessions or how, what do you like? How, like, talk about that. Sorry.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. So yeah, email me and I'd love to offer you a free, a complimentary 30-minute session. Sometimes it goes longer than that. That's okay. And just to get an idea of what coaching is and if this money course is right for you.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for being my guest. That was amazing.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for having me today.
yeah, it was just my honor. Like I've been wanting to do this for quite a while. You are extraordinary and I love you dearly. So definitely reach out to Anne to heal your relationship with money, or if you're just looking for some love and some support um, going through transition, whether it's through, you know, if you're feeling stuck and you want to get things moving. Not only is she a coach, but she can clear that energy and clear the way for that energy to flow free within you. So definitely connect with Anne. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Love you back, Susan. This was such a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me as a guest today. I truly enjoyed our time.
Oh, me too.